From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Monday. I'm Jeanelle Slade with the latest tonight as fires flare and fill the skies with smoke. We begin with breaking news. We have reports right now of a large fire burning off I-90 near Pryor Creek Road. It's an area called Indian Ridge. Now, Q2 viewers are sending in pictures of heavy smoke in that area, and we do have a crew just arriving on the scene. As soon as we learn more, we'll have updates on air and online at ktvq.com. As the winds pick up tonight, we now turn to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh. Ed, that wind fanning flames and just spilling smoke.
That's for sure. In fact, we've really seen a big increase in smoke that we're picking up, especially across eastern Montana here, even in the last couple of hours, not just from the fire that you just spoke of, Jeanelle, but also from some of the other fires burning over in Rosebud County as well. And we're starting to see more and more active weather. Now, the good news at this point is that overall air quality isn't bad this afternoon. Only a few places in the unhealthy category. Otherwise, generally good, especially across the northern portion of the state. But we could see an increase in that wildfire smoke tonight heading into tomorrow from a number of fires scattered across the area, both to the west and east of the Billings area. And that will continue to move out of the picture as we head in towards tomorrow. We'll talk more about the smoke and the potential for new fires in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. And north of Glendive, the West Glendive Fire Department and several other agencies are now fighting a large blaze off Highway 16. There is no other information available at this hour, but authorities are asking everyone to keep clear of the area as they battle those flames. And fear of flames has also shut down Highway 39 between Lame Deer and Colstrip tonight. The Richard Springs fire, burning 10 miles north of the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, has scorched about 35,000 acres. According to a Facebook post from the Rosebud County Sheriff's Office, the fire warden closed the road as flames made a push towards the highway. As of tonight, there are no known evacuations. And also tonight, an update on the large fire burning in Stillwater County. Q2's Mitch Laggy was there and brings us the latest.
Here in Stillwater County on a very windy day, firefighters are making progress on the Trout Creek fire, which sparked over the weekend and is burning near Absorki. On Monday, the fire had burned about 8,000 acres, and firefighters reached 20% containment. Evacuation orders are still in place for residents who live from the intersection of Stillwater River Road and Spring Creek Road west to Sandy Drive. This includes the communities of Beehive, Midnight Canyon, and Grove Creek. Residents along the Nye Highway are under pre-evacuation. Officials said they should have a decision on the evacuation status of those residents by the early evening. The fire started on Saturday in the Trout Creek drainage and moved north to Spring Creek Road. The wind pushed the fire south on Sunday. It jumped Stillwater River Road between Cliff Swallow fishing access and the community of Beehive. The high winds continued into Monday. Fire crews and engines from Absorki, Columbus, Nye, Molt, Laurel, and Reed Point, along with resources from the Montana Department of Natural Resource Conservation and Bureau of Land Management are all helping to fight the fire. We expect another update from officials around 6 p.m. Monday night. Reporting near Absorki, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Thanks, Mitch. Once again, that fire is 20% contained at this hour. In other news, an early Sunday morning shooting is now a homicide after the 32-year-old male victim died from his injuries. Officers responded to a shooting around 2:30 a.m. yesterday to find the man lying on the ground near the corner of 3rd Avenue South and South 27th Street. Now, the victim was unresponsive and taken to the hospital where he later died. Billings police detectives are on the case, but at this time, no arrests have been made and no suspects have been identified. The name of the victim has also not yet been released. Well, as COVID-19 numbers spike across Montana, the state surpasses the 2,000 active case mark for the first time since February. Today, the state announced another 395 positive cases, with Yellowstone County reporting 38 of those. Now, the state's largest county now has the third most active cases in Montana at 257, while Flathead County leads the way with 535. 154 patients are hospitalized tonight, and more than 1,700 Montanans have died from the virus since the pandemic began. Well, today, MTN's Mike Dennison spoke with Montana Governor Greg Gianforte and health officials to find out what the state is and is not doing in response.
Governor Gianforte says the main thing the state is doing to stop the spread of COVID-19 has encouraged Montanans to consider getting vaccinated.
9 out of 10 people that are hospitalized now recently are people that have been unvaccinated. So I got mine. They're safe and effective. And if you haven't been vaccinated, I encourage you to go talk to your professional and consider it.
The State Health Department has been running public service announcements statewide on radio, television, and the web, encouraging people to get a shot. Still, Montana's vaccination rate for eligible people is only about 49%, well below the 70% experts say is a minimum for herd immunity. Now, the state, however, won't be issuing any mandates under Gianforte. And a state law he signed prohibits private businesses from requiring employees to be vaccinated and won't allow those businesses to deny services or access to their premises based on vaccination status.
One of the things we've learned over this last year is mandates don't work. I said from the beginning I campaigned on a platform of personal responsibility. But we're going to focus on personal responsibility instead of mandates.
Republicans in the legislature and Gianforte also approved a law that essentially prohibits local officials from enforcing health mandates on businesses, like wearing masks indoors or limiting the size of gatherings.
So at this time, the only thing that we can do is to recommend that people wear that mask in indoor places and to really take into consideration the community at large and provide a way to keep everybody safe. Probably the most important message that's out there right now is that we want to slow down the spread of this virus and get it under control as our kids are getting ready to go back to school.
And speaking of schools, the governor said school boards should listen to parents when deciding what sort of protocols to put in place this fall. But he's not too keen on mandates to wear face masks.
Face masks inhibit learning. They have mental health consequences. And frankly, the potential of severe consequences are really diminished for this younger folks.
School boards around the state will be making that call soon. But when it comes to combating the virus in Montana, it looks like the message from on top is take personal responsibility to consider a vaccine. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Now, vaccines are still readily available through most local public health departments and other healthcare providers. Well, a big day for several border towns across Montana. Canada officially opened its border for non-essential travel. But that doesn't mean these towns can welcome Canadians back for business. MTN's Sean Wells brings us the story from Eureka.
Canada has officially opened their border for U.S. tourists for non-essential travel for the first time since March of 2020. A steady stream of cars trickled up to the border crossing at the port of Roosevelt just north of Eureka Monday morning for the first time in more than 16 months. All American citizens can now travel into Canada for non-essential travel if they are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 at least 14 days before entering the country. Fully vaccinated travelers will be exempt from quarantine once entering Canada. However, Canadians are still prohibited from driving across the border into the U.S. for non-essential travel until at least August 21st. First and Last Chance Bar and Duty Free Store manager Cheryl Hotstetler says her business won't see any kind of sudden uptick in customers until both borders are fully open for non-essential travel.
And I don't see it to be getting near normal till next summer at all.
Cheryl said the duty-free business has been non-existent since the beginning of the pandemic.
Duty-free went to almost zero because you can't cross the border. And then in summertime, this is our busy time to get us through the winter, and the last few summers, absolutely no traffic.
Cheryl says support from residents at the bar is the only reason the business has been able to stay open the last 16 months.
Thank God for our locals. They really supported us very well. They're awesome.
In Eureka, Sean Wells, MTN News.
Thanks so much, Sean. Now, those entering Canada for non-essential travel will need to show proof of vaccination. Well, Billings Clinic has a new piece of technology, which its medical experts say will help save more lives. Q2's Brandon Warren brings us a look.
A new robotic scope at Billings Clinic already has a line of people that it will see. The scope is high-tech and will help with
diagnose lung cancer sooner, but hopefully save more patients' lives from lung cancer. It allows us to biopsy millimeter nodules far out in the periphery of the lung like we were never able to do before.
Lung cancer kills more people annually than any other cancer, and it's critical that it's caught early. This machine will help give accurate biopsies of any lung tissue that doctors may have concerns about. The next closest machine with similar capabilities is over 500 miles away.
And when you see something like this on their scan, you tell someone, it looks like you have lung cancer, you clinically have lung cancer, but now we can actually go in and biopsy it through a minimally invasive outpatient procedure to tell them you indeed have lung cancer, and then be able to really talk through the options that they have for treatment going forward.
Patients will undergo a series of scans, which will create a 3D map of their airways, which doctors will use to guide them during the procedure. The scope is minimally invasive and gives doctors a number of capabilities.
And then the little tiny working channel is only 2.1 millimeters. We can pass little tiny instruments down into it. This goes all the way out within about 1.5 centimeters of the edge of the lung, an area that we never could reach before.
The doctors hope that in the future, with proper consent, they will be able to identify and remove the cancer within the same procedure. This will speed up the process drastically. In Billings, Brandon Warren, MTN News.
And Brandon tells us the machine goes online tomorrow and it's already booked through the end of the week. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2, we take a stop in Helena to catch up with Congressman Rosendale as he takes a tour. Plus a trip to Bridger to study up on big additions to a small town school.